primetime Poulton, keep it entertaining. You already knowin', outworking everybody and he don't ever quit. Talking about plenty comics like Graveyard Shift, Sea Dogs, Fighting Wolf, US Assassin, doing just what he loves. This is his passion. Bring more value to your dollar. No, I'm not frontin'. That's how just a writer became a moral compass. This is primetime Poulton. This is primetime Poulton. Let's go.
Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Friday. It's TMC, the Moral Compass. Going solo. Phil canceled on me again. Phil is in the middle of moving. He's without internet. That's all right. We'll make it through this episode. We got Leandro in the house. What's up? He's happy to see the little pod gods, or at least one of them. We got Chauncey in the house. Chauncey's been joining me every day this week. Hicks Villains in the house. What's up, guys? So me solo, we're going to go over Raw and NXT. Hopefully Phil will be back with us on Sunday to go over a great episode of Impact and AEW and do some War Games predictions. Before we get into some wrestling, though, I got this in the mail today. This is from Upper Deck. It is the first 3 AEW trading cards from their upcoming set. These were website exclusives. And we're going to look at them for the first time ever. All right. This was the first card they offered. CM Punk. Really nice. So all these cards were available on their website, like right after their debuts for $5 each, I think. Maybe $6. I can't remember. And they were just digital cards, but after a while, they would unlock and become physical cards that you could have mailed to yourself. So they finally unlocked, and I mailed them to myself. So CM Punk. Then card number 2. Adam Cole, baby. Awesome card. And then card number 3, Bryan Danielson. These cards were going for crazy amounts on eBay when they were first issued. I'm not sure what the prices are now, but I'm trying to go all in on this Upper Deck set. So I have the New York Comic Con sheet that they released with the 9 cards on it. Now I have these 3 cards. The actual boxes of cards, packs of cards, will release, I think, next week. And I put a word in with my comic shop to hold me a case. So we'll see. We'll see if I get them. They're kind of hard to come by. Chauncey says CM Punk is the best card in the world. Yeah, that's all right. All right. Before we get, well, my dogs are going crazy upstairs. So before we get into Raw, got to pay the bills here. Let's talk a little US Assassin. Let me bring it up. We're at $45,403. We're going to close the in-demand store in 2 weeks when Mike is here to sign the books. That's when we'll start actually sending the books out. I've been signing books every night. Since they arrived, I got word from the printer that's doing the Mercenary and the script book. Those are the ones with the shiny foil covers. Actually, I can show you them. They are arriving Monday. So all that is missing is the collected edition. I was told the collected edition was going to ship December 8th. So hopefully we're still on schedule for that. Where is that video? Oh, here we go. There you have it. Here's a look at the shiny cover. Real quick. Let's show it to you again. Yeah, the cover turned out fantastic. I'm really proud of that. So yeah, back if you haven't backed. The book looks beautiful. It's the nicest volume of U.S. Assassin yet. Mike's already hard at work on volume 4. We're a well-oiled machine over here, guys. We're churning out books really quick. And thank you for all your support. Watching this series grow from the first campaign doing 5,000 to now the third campaign doing 45,000 is incredible. So thank you very much. All right, let's dive into some Raw. Raw was, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good episode. Highlight of it was Vince McMahon taking Austin Theory under his wing. We'll get into that. But the show starts off with Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. We never got the match last week, so we get it this week. And Seth Rollins gets the win by pinfall. Poor Finn Balor. He needs something, man. He debuted on the main roster with such fanfare. They put the Universal title on him, and then he got hurt in that match, had to vacate the title, and he's never gotten back on track. He had a fantastic NXT original run, and then everything since then has sort of just been, I don't know, mediocre, I would say. For the longest time, they kept teasing like him and AJ and the Good Brothers, but they never pulled the trigger on that. That would have been awesome. Honestly, I think they should just put Finn Balor with AJ and Omos. I think that would be a good trio. Finn could ride Omos's shoulders down to the ring. It would look awesome. Next up, we get a backstage segment. This is Austin Theory walking into Vince's office, and Vince slaps him in the face and makes him sit and watch the whole episode with him. And they're going to look for an opportunity to surprise people, but they never do. I like that Vince is taking Austin Theory under his wing. Vince is a shell of a performer that he used to be. You can hardly understand anything he says. He speaks so low. Hicks Villain wants me to put my cards in my bicycle spokes. I don't think so. We got Nicholas Gear here. What's up, Nicholas? Jake is here, and he says, we have theories on theory. We do. Yeah. Hicks Villain says Finn needs to go back to Japan. Yep. He needs something. So Vince and Austin Theory. I thought Bubba Ray on Busted Open Radio had a great theory. Austin Theory is sort of the son Vince McMahon always wanted. Shane has been kind of a disappointment. He even left WWE for a while to do his own thing. Triple H recently has been a major disappointment, and this is real life. He took NXT away from him. He took his baby away from him because he wasn't giving Vince any superstars. He wasn't creating superstars in NXT. I think that's debatable, but I think in Vince's eyes, he hasn't. So he's creating his on-screen, his TV son in Austin Theory, and he's molding him to be the son that he always wanted. That's just one theory. We'll see where it goes. But I do like the pairing, and I've been super impressed with Austin Theory since he debuted not debuted, but his second go on the main roster. His first, I don't even know if anyone remembers, but when he first debuted on the main roster, he was paired with Zelina Vega, Andrade, and Angel Garza. And then that didn't work. And then he became a disciple with Seth Rollins for a week. And then the Me Too movement happened, and he was pulled off TV. But happy for him to be back. Happy that he's doing great. And we'll see how this plays out. Next up, Raw Women's Championship contract signing, Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan. I might be in the minority here, but I'm enjoying Liv Morgan getting a main event push, or a top female spot push. I don't know if it's because I hate Becky Lynch's new character, but she is very grating. I can't stand Becky Lynch at the moment. But I don't think they'll pull the trigger on Liv Morgan getting the the title. But it's nice to see her in an upper echelon program, and this sets the stage for this episode where we get another 10-woman tag match. Not Survivor Series rules, just 10, 5 versus 5. Liv's team versus Becky's team. And we'll get that later tonight. Then we move on to Raw Tag Team Championship. RK Bro versus the Dirty Dogs. Are there any other teams in Raw right now? I mean, we keep getting RKO and the Dirty Dogs every week, it seems like. Chauncey is saying Hornswoggle theory. Yeah, another Vince. He wasn't actually Vince's son, though. He was Finley's son. Zayd Comics, Phil Diaz in the chat. What's up? Jake says, I hope it doesn't turn out Austin is someone's son like the Jason Jordan story. No, I don't think he's going to be the biological son. I just think like he's like the surrogate son that Vince always wanted since his son and his son-in-law are like failures in his eyes. Hicks Villain says this leads to Austin Theory versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania. Basically, Steve smacking the kid and Vince around Broken Skull Ranch. Hey, man, whatever we can do to get one more match from Stone Cold, I'm all for it. Chauncey thinks Finn should lead the Bullet Club again. I don't know. When Good Brothers were released, I thought, they should join Bullet Club again. And we got so many teases to it, especially with the Elite. Never happened. So I don't know. Bullet Club is, I guess, its own thing now, and it's never going to be the height of what it was. Hicks Villain says, big time Beck's holding that title until Seth knocks her up again. Get to work, Seth. I can't stand her. Oh, we got Amanda B in the house. What's up, Amanda? So RK Bro versus Dirty Dogs. No surprise here. RK Bro gets the win. We need some new teams in this division. We got AJ and Omos. AJ Styles, who's blind. We'll get into that later. And then we got the Street Profits, which Street Profits are so close to breaking up. Montez Ford is going to be a big single star, I think. Then we get, so this was probably the highlight of the show. We get Edge and Miz in a promo battle, and it's basically they're basing everything sort of off the MJF CM Punk promo from the week before. And, Edge even, says that, Miz is in so many people's heads that they're talking about it in other promotions, which is true. I mean, Miz or CM Punk and MJF keep mentioning WWE people, mentioning Miz, Cena, Triple H. Sort of makes AEW seem like the minor leagues, because CM Punk said it himself. MJF is a less famous Miz, and MJF was saying CM Punk has always been second to Cena and Triple H, which is true. So I don't know. Stop bringing those guys up. You make yourself out to be inferior to WWE. But I thought the one bomb that Edge dropped in this promo battle was Miz was out doing reality shows while his partner was getting fired. That was a great line. The crowd totally had zero reaction to this. I don't know if it's because they have poor crowds at their at their live events now, or because they just don't, they're not knowledgeable fans. But that was a killer line. It didn't get any reaction from the fans, but I really enjoyed these promos, and I'm all for a Miz Edge feud. Also, Maurice is back. Maurice is back with Miz. Come on, MJF is no Miz. He doesn't have a Maurice. Chauncey says that's true. It does make AEW WWE light if they keep mentioning it. Yeah, and until MJF gets a Maurice level wife, he can't be taken serious. All right, now we get the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy. AJ Styles is led to the ring by Omos. AJ Styles is wearing sunglasses because he is blind. He's been blinded by the smoke that the Street Profits, they fired a fire extinguisher in his eyes, and he cannot see. So he's at ringside doing color commentary, and he's blind, which is hilarious to think about. But he ends up getting involved in the match, and Street Profits make him look ridiculous. And there's actually some back and forth between him and Omos. Please do not break these two guys up yet. I'm still enjoying Omos with AJ Styles. I feel like AJ should be a singles wrestler with Omos as his heater, but they're so thin in the tag team roster now that they're relegated to that. Zaid Comics says AEW fans greater than WWE fans. I believe that. Probably more knowledgeable, more indie fans, I would say, where WWE fans are just WWE fans, AEW fans are wrestling fans. Hicks Villain says Long Island is AEW country now. Raw had 90% seat fillers. Phil Diaz says too much MJF hate in this stream. Well, he's not as great as everyone says he is, Phil. Mark Union in the house. What's up, Mark? Hicks Villain, Omos is destined to end the bloodline. Oh, that's an interesting theory. So Street Profits get the victory over Alpha Academy. I really like Alpha Academy. Phil and I, we rave about Chad Gable all the time. It's a shame that the Cruiserweight division wasn't taken seriously, because you have guys like Gable, Finn Balor, that if they had been placed in it, they could have made that legitimate. Gable, they tried it for like a week, and for whatever they dropped it, but I don't know. At least he's not Shorty G anymore. Then we get a United States Championship match: Damien Priest versus Apollo Cruz. Apollo has Commander Aziz in his side. Damien Priest is turning heel, I think. He keeps having, like, I don't know, he starts freaking out and getting the crazy eyes. He gets the victory over Apollo Cruz. It'll be interesting to see what happens. That could be a challenger for Big E, and I'm all for Damien Priest versus Big E. Then we get a tag team match, the Mysterios versus the Hurt Business. Mysterios with the victory. I think last week I said Dominic Mysterio was more David Flair than Charlotte Flair. I think I was a little too hard on him. He has a decent frog splash. Zeke Comics, I think you're just jealous, Mark. Absolutely not. Maybe MJF is better and you know it. No, that's not it at all. Hicksville and Cruiserweight division ends this Sunday. Absolutely, it is. Joe Gacy is going to win the title, and it's going to become the all-inclusive title. He's going to wrestle everyone. Big, small, male, female. Genders don't matter for him anymore. We'll get into Joe Gacy a little later. So Mysterios defeat the Hurt Business. The poor Hurt Business. They teased that the Hurt Business was getting back together. Shelton, Cedric Alexander, MVP, Bobby Lashley. They worked together, I guess, technically, at the last Saudi pay-per-view, but they haven't done anything since then. Then we get the 10-woman tag team match. Team Liv, which is Bianca Belair, The 24/7 champion Dana Brooke, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki ASH versus Team Bex, which is Becky Lynch. The women's tag team champions Queen Zelina and Carmella, Doudrop and Tamina. You guys know I love I love evil Doudrop. So I was, even though it pains me, I was rooting for Becky Lynch's team, and they get the victory. No surprise. Oh, actually, Team Liv gets the victory, which makes sense because she's not winning at the pay-per-view. But this was just filler. Chauncey says Hurt Business is best for business. Hurt Business was the best thing going on Raw. I would say this year, maybe even last year too. Hurt Business, fantastic. It was dumb to break them up. Main event time. We got KO versus Big E in a non-title match, and all throughout the episode, KO is getting in Seth Rollins' head saying, when I win, I'm going to be placed in this championship match you have at the next pay-per-view. And Seth Rollins keeps going to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, and they're like, no, that's not true. And Seth Rollins keeps bringing it up that finally Adam Pearce is like, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's make it happen. So KO gets the victory by disqualification. And at the day one pay-per-view, Big E now has to defend against Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. Are they going to give KO the title just in hopes of keeping him in WWE? I think he's gone no matter what, but they're giving him the Dean Ambrose treatment. They're letting him go out on a high, which you almost have to do these days because you're in a war and you want these guys to come back eventually. So treat them good so they don't have a bad taste on their mouth when they leave. Although I think money probably, mends all burned bridges. So that does it for Raw. Not a bad episode. It'll be interesting to see where the Vince Austin Theory stuff leads to. We don't have a pay-per-view until January 1st. So a lot of build to this next event, the day one event. So I'm all for a build. Hicksvillain says Owens gets screwed, then he signs AEW in the air as he leaves. I'm all for it, man. Shades of Bret Hart. All right, NXT. Our favorite thing. Our favorite thing to talk about here on the Pod Gods. I feel guilty talking about it without Cowboy Phil McNulty here. But we get a War Games Advantage ladder match. Dakota Kai versus Kaylee Ray. Usually, the villains, they get the War Games Advantage, but not in this case. Kaylee Ray gets the win. The good guys get the man advantage going into War Games. Kaylee Ray looks great. She's going to be the one, I think, to dethrone Mandy for the NXT title. They're giving her a good build. After the commercial break, the grizzled young vets are backstage and they're trying to break into the lockers of Briggs and Jensen. I don't know what they would want in those guys' locker, except for like some Walmart redneck clothing. But then you got the jacket guys, Ikemen and Kushida appear, and Briggs and Jensen come back, and there's all sorts of confusion. I don't know what's going on with this. But then we get Cameron Grimes versus maybe my least favorite wrestler on NXT, Andre Chase. But I will admit, now that they've added some students to his entourage, I like the gimmick a little better. But Grimes gets the victory. Holy cow, we got Replicator Rob here. We're talking wrestling, Rob. Hicksvillain says KO to Vince, are we good? And then spits on him. Yeah. Oh, that would be fantastic. So Cameron Grimes gets the victory over Andre Chase. Then Duke Hudson comes out and sort of tells him that he's going to shave him bald. He has a bunch of slides on the screen to show Grimes what he's going to look like with his different hairstyles. I mean, honestly, Duke Hudson's done Cameron Grimes a favor, giving him that haircut to begin with. Grimes has never looked better. So when Grimes loses, he'll probably get another great haircut. I don't see Duke Hudson losing. I don't see Duke Hudson's gimmick being that he's bald. He has a nice head of hair. And I don't know, NXT sort of likes these new guys, these 2.0 guys better than the I don't want to call Cameron Grimes an OG NXT guy, but they definitely he's definitely not a 2.0 guy. We then go to another segment with MSK in a car. Apparently they're looking for their shaman. I don't know. They need guidance or something. But a door opens and all this purple fog comes out. Who's their shaman going to be? I'm thinking it's either going to be the Godfather, RVD. I don't know. The purple had me thinking, are they going to bring what's his name back? I can't even think of his name. Chauncey says, "Hail the election." I mean, Raw. What was the purple guy's name on NXT? He was on Tough Enough. He got released because he was DMing. He was DMing young men. Oh my gosh, I can't. Velveteen Dream. Thank you. Nah, it couldn't be Velveteen Dream. By the silhouette, I don't know. I don't know who it could be. At least that's something. At least there was a purpose to them driving around for the last, it feels like 2 months. Next up, we got a number 1 contenders match. Legado del Fantasma versus Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner. O'Reilly and Wagner get the win when Zion Quinn comes out. The deal with Zion Quinn is he's upset because this beautiful woman, Elektra Lopez, is infatuated with him. And he won't join her stable. He ends up getting into a fight with Santos Escobar, and he and Escobar and Elektra end up running off, leaving Legado del Fantasma by themselves. They get distracted. O'Reilly and Wagner get the victory. O'Reilly and Wagner are going to take on Imperium at the pay-per-view for the tag titles. Phil thinks Von Wagner is going to turn on Kyle O'Reilly. I think they're going to win the tag titles first. But Kyle O'Reilly's contract expires at the end of December. I think we're going to get a heel turn on Von Wagner, and he's going to destroy Kyle O'Reilly. But I think they're going to win the titles first. Then we get Joe Gacy in the ring with Harland. He's there for his all-inclusive invitational. He's wrestling an overweight guy, a smaller guy, and a woman because he has no prejudice. Everybody should get a chance to wrestle. And when he wins the 205 championship, which is a weight shaming championship in his eyes, he's going to let everyone compete for it. Hicks Villain says we know it's not the Shaman of Sexy. No, the Shaman of Sexy was given his papers. He was released. Poor John Morrison. Well, actually, no, not poor John Morrison. Good for John Morrison. His future is brighter now. But Diamond Mine comes out. Michael Bivens, probably the best talker in all of NXT. Him and Gacy are going at it. Gacy is asking Roderick Strong if he likes Bivens doing his talking for him. Roddy gets in the ring. They start fighting. And then the people from the all-inclusive invitational attack Roddy, and that lets Joe Gacy hit Roddy with his finisher. I'm looking forward to this, man. when NXT 2.0 started, I was confused by Joe Gacy. I didn't get it. But since then, he's been my favorite character. He's like, I don't know. He's a great character. He has some weird charisma about him. And I love the pairing of him and Harland. I love Roderick Strong. I've been a huge fan of his, but I want Gacy to win the belt because I want to see what he does with that cruiserweight title, which really at this point, it's just a prop. All right. Next up, Solo Sikoa, the Usos brother versus Edris Enof. Sikoa gets the victory. Then Boa comes out and attacks him, which is odd. Boa has a new gear and face paint. I feel like this is the third gimmick from Boa since NXT 2.0 has started. Afterwards, we get Indy Hartwell and Persia Parada backstage. Dexter Lumis has gone missing. We then get Indy Hartwell and Persia Parada versus a couple of jobbers, female jobbers, and Indy and Persia get the victory. Really weird booking. For the last month, I would say Indy and Persia have been treated like jobbers. Now they're beating jobbers. And then the main event, War Games Advantage ladder match, Johnny Gargano versus Braun Breaker. No way, no chance in hell Johnny Gargano was winning this one. Braun Breaker's a stud. He gets the victory. He does a Frankensteiner off the top rope. The guy's a stud. He's a superstar. He gets the advantage for his team. The heels have the man advantage going into War Games. The NXT OGs team is stacked with Gargano, Ciampa, Pete Dunne, and LA Knight. But for some reason, I think 2.0 is going to win it. If someone gives up, I would say it has to be LA Knight, which I hate because I love that LA Knight is finally getting a high profile spot on the show. But I don't know. For the 2.0 guys, Grayson Waller, I could see him giving up. The guy who won't be named, Tony D, I could see him giving up. Although they put a huge push on him, I don't understand it. But it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. It's this Sunday. I'm hoping Phil has some internet and we can do a prediction show for the pay-per-view and recap AEW. Another good episode of AEW and a fantastic episode of Impact Wrestling. I'm looking forward to the Impact pay-per-view December 18th, which is same date as the Ring of Honor final battle, their last show. I mean, they're saying they're going to be back, but I don't buy it. This could be this could be it for Ring of Honor as well. But anyway, guys, that does it. Breeze through this pretty quickly. Hopefully we're back Sunday. Go check out US Assassin, closing the in-demand store in 2 weeks when Mike's here to sign all the books. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Subscribe to Primetime Poulton, hit the notifications, and I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tonight on Don Chin's channel. Don is doing a Viking Wolf unboxing, and he's going to have me and Renzo there while he does it. And then this Saturday on the Breaking Rad channel, I'm doing play-by-play for the biggest night in the history of CG wrestling, and that's CG WrestleMania. Bancroft, his 70-day title reign is on the line as he faces Narwhal. Selena Hernandez puts the women's CG title up against Mandy Summers. Tag team championship match, the Diaz brothers versus the Barton brothers. And a Comicsgate Kings battle royal. I'm not in it. Little known fact, I was on the first 3 episodes of Comicsgate Kings. But I don't really have a lot to say about the mainstream comic industry or politics or anyway. So I didn't feel like I contributed. But it's going to be a great night of CG Wrestling. I'm looking forward to doing the play-by-play with the Breaking Rad crew, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for joining me.